like between today and tomorrow, with just some quadratic formula stuff, just to see it again one last time. Let's make sure this gets nice and recordy. Make that noise I want. Do it. Bloop. It's a magic sound. All right, cool. So let's do it. Take out something to write with, something to write on. We just have 3 problems we're going to do, however long that takes us, and then we'll be done for the day. And if you want, you can get started on tomorrow's work, but I would rather just knock out today and then be done, and then knock out tomorrow, and be done with that. So while you're getting ready, let me just preface this with a plan for after tomorrow. Remember, cohort A, I see you guys tomorrow and Friday in school. You guys sitting in front of me will have like attendance, like Google Meet attendance that I have to take, but you'll be able to just get your work done. So let me lay this on you now so you can expect it. Okay, Thursday and Friday of this week. Okay, so the next time you're going to be here, and then the day after that, for the people sitting in front of me. What's up, Griff? This Thursday and Friday, I'm going to take the 3 things that we've done in this chapter, 2.3, 2.5, and now 2.6. Okay, we are going to take our chapter 2 test Thursday and Friday. Okay, in-class stuff will happen in class, and then you'll have an at-home portion that you'll just fill out the Google form, like multiple choice or something. I will put it together, and I will send that out to you. Okay, so I'm going to keep it short in both parts. Okay, but I just wanted to let you know that is coming. When you get your, obviously, so you guys sitting in front of me, you will do your in-class one on Thursday and your at-home on Friday. Everybody at home, it'll be the opposite. Okay, you'll do your in-class stuff on Friday, and your at-home stuff will obviously happen when you're at home on Thursday. For your at-home part of the test, you will get an email from me at like the beginning of the day, like 7:40 or whenever first period starts. You can get it done whenever. You still just have to log on for attendance, but you don't have to like take the test during class when you do your at-home stuff. You can take it whenever, as long as it gets done by that day. You'll get an email with a link to a Google form that you'll just click through and fill out. Okay? Multiple choice, or maybe some free response kind of stuff that you write out. But then when you're in class, obviously we'll only have class time to get that done, so I will make sure that is also on the shorter side. You can use notes if you want, okay? Anytime, okay? Calculators, of course, okay? But for your in-class portion, if you choose to do without your notes, I will give you extra credit for that. So if you study for a math test, I know, crazy, but if you actually study, or you just have it down and you just walk in the door, you guys on Thursday, you guys on Friday, without notes, and you just do it from right up here with the calculator, of course, I'll give you some bonus points for that, okay? Cool? So that's the plan. Thursday, Friday, chapter 2 tests broken up over 2 days. An in-class thing you'll do in class, and at-home thing you'll do at home. Cool? I think your best resource are going to be, like the resources that I think you'll probably lean on the most are all of these quizzes that we've been taking. Okay, the 2.3 A and B, 2.5 A and B, and starting today, 2.6A, tomorrow, 2.6B. Here's the good news. 2.6A, we are about to do together right now. Okay? You can very easily just get 24 out of 24 on this 2.6A quiz by just following along and writing down what we do and throwing it up on Canvas today. Okay, it's already on there, folks at home. It's already on there for you guys to look at. Folks here, everybody, let's do it. Quiz 2.6A, just quadratic formula stuff. Now, I'm going to write down the quadratic formula so that you got it in case you forgot. I like to split it up into the two separate fractions so I can separate them and simplify them separately. But if you want, you can put them all together into one big fraction. I don't care. I'm going to do it the top way because that way is easier for me to simplify. Nice. I avoided the glare somehow. Okay. Now these are all sitting on Canvas. Under today's announcement, you should be able to click on it, quiz 2.6a. Click here, effort and completion only today. Correctness tomorrow. 3 questions are going to be super, super similar. So cohort A, folks, you'll do it in class tomorrow at your leisure over the 50 minutes that we have. Folks at home, all you have to do is log on tomorrow for attendance, but you can get that quiz done whenever. You can log off right away. Log on, see that I'm there, see that I'm recording, and then away you go. All right, cool. Here we go. The first one, I'm going to make work out really nice. Like it was factorable from the beginning, but I forgot, right? So you've got this function, x squared plus 6x plus 8. And we're finding the x-intercept, so we're going to set equal to 0, but let's say like we forgot. I didn't even check factoring because he told me to do quadratic formula, so that's what I'm going to do. And so all I really need is A, B, and C. And we'll just drop those numbers in. Now, when the time comes for the quiz, one of the things you are not going to get is that quadratic formula from me, right? So if you're going to use your notes, well, then there they are, right? Sitting right there. But if you choose not to, you're going to want to have that stuff up in your brain to help you out, okay? A is 1, B is 6, C is 8. And all we have to do is drop them in. Yeah, you go from there.
So on the test,
on
the test, are you going to tell us like in part, or are you going to do that? I can put factor in.
There will be some separate sections. One that says find the x-intercepts by factoring. Find the x-intercepts by quadratic formula. Find the x-intercepts by vertex form. And then probably a section that just says any way you want. That's probably what I'll do. Yeah. And what I'll do tonight is I will put like an assignment on Canvas for the test, and I will kind of list out what I think I want to do in each part. So you know what the test is going to look like. Because I know that sometimes like you kind of walk into tests a little bit blind. It's like what the structure is, and that can be kind of stressful. And so I want to take all of that part out of this, and I will let you know exactly what it's going to look like. Okay, like here's the at-home part. 6 multiple choice, whatever. You know, I'll like lay it out so it's very, very clear. At least I hope so. That's my plan. Okay, here we go. X equals, I'm going to do the first one. Negative b on top. Okay, so there's negative 6. Over 2 times a, and I'm just going to write it out with all the numbers. I'll do all like the adding, subtracting, multiplying, all that stuff in my next. Big square root on top, so another fraction, big, huge, long square root. Give yourself some space underneath. Okay, b, so that's 6 squared, minus 4, and then a goes in there, and then c goes in there. A is 1, c is 8. That's what I love about the quadratic formula. Just dropping the numbers and the math just does itself. Definitely like a calculator kind of step though, maybe for like if you want to work through it kind of quickly, you can do that. That's it. All you have to do is drop in the numbers and you let it just kind of take care of itself. This is like factoring is probably the easiest one, but you still have to like know what it looks like. Quadratic formula like right behind it in terms of how easy this stuff is. Okay, so 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, cool. And let's figure out all of that under the square root stuff. Let's see. 6 squared, so 36, minus 32. 36 minus 32? That's 4. All of it. But what is the square root of 4? 2, exactly. And so we can drop the square root and actually change the number because it's perfect. If it wasn't, we just stop. We'd be done. We would just simplify whatever we can. If you want to simplify the square root, great. If you don't, or like you're not confident in that part that we learned like a couple weeks ago, that's okay. But what this means is that we can keep going. Don't stop right there. And I'm just going like to the right now just because I'm out of space. You can keep going down if you want, or you can keep going across. Like I don't care how you connect all your equal signs. But I can like simplify this fraction, simplify that one, and then put them together. Like -6 divided by 2 is -3. I can actually do that nice number, and then 2 divided by 2 is just 1. And if it was like a kind of a gross square root, then I would just leave it, and I would be done with the plus or minus. Like all of our our vertex form ones always, 1 plus or minus the square root of 7, right? And that was it. Here we can keep going, and we can actually do plus and then separately minus. And so here's where I kind of break it into 2 different equations. One where I use the plus and one where I use the minus separately. I want to see what we get. And this is the only one that I made that's going to work out this way, because most of the time it doesn't. But hey, if you do run into the case where you did have a really nice like square root of 4, square root of 9, then you can get -3 plus 1, okay, -2. -3 minus 1, okay, -4. And you actually get 2 really nice answers. Which means, of course, from the beginning, this thing was nice and back. Voila. Why do I call it? It's a mess. There you go. 8 out of 8 on the first one already. Now, I went through faster in some spots, slower in others. You can work as quickly or as slowly from here as you want. But I want to see that first step where all the numbers go in, but you haven't done anything to them yet. But you could have maybe like called this -3 from the beginning and then just brought that with. Like you could have wrote out 36 minus 32. Like show me more work. That's cool too. But I gotta see this step. Probably jumping like right to there. I kind of like this flow, but show me more if you want. Show me more if you want. Good? Cool. Let's keep going. Let's knock this out. I'm going to stick with the black because I think it works better for the folks at home. Call this one number 2. I just want to see what the view looks like from you guys to make sure I'm trying to avoid the glare as best I can. Let's go like this first. Okay. I think I called it g of x. Another just x squared, keeping a as 1 one more time. Let's get some negatives in there. -2x and -5. Maybe it's purple. If it helps, a equals, b equals, c equals. Or you can just do it. You don't have to write those down. But it does help me catch some mistakes that some of you made, like on the last couple B versions of the quiz, right, where we actually check it for correctness. Some of us like forget to switch the signs, and we'll keep track of that. So just be careful. You just jump in, right? It's the same formula. Again, I'm going to use the first one so that I can separate things nicely. And some people will like rewrite the formula to start like every single time. Like they'll take this, just the formula, and they'll write it down. You don't have to. I suggest you write it somewhere, like on your piece of paper, just to have it there. Again, this is not going to be sitting there on the test waiting for you. You're just going to have to find it. Okay, cool. -b goes on top. Well, b's already negative, so what should we do? Make it positive. Good, that's the whole idea. And then 2 times a on the bottom, so 2 times 1. Again, maybe that's a spot where you just put 2. That's okay. It's just nice to drop the numbers in the first time and not actually do anything to them yet. All right, big square root on top. Make sure that your square root goes as far as it needs to cover that last number. Make sure your fraction bar goes all the way across to kind of cover everything it's supposed to. All right, b squared. Parentheses huge there if you're going to rely on the calculator to do some of this stuff. If you got anything next to it, you definitely want to put in parentheses. Okay, minus 4 times a times c. Look at that. My square root not quite far enough, so I'm going to extend it out. Fraction bar not quite far enough, so I'll extend it out. And then same denominator. That's the nice thing. If you get the first denominator right, you'll get the second one. Other thing I love about this, it's already x equals. I don't have to solve. I just got to do some numbers. That's just arithmetic. It's like middle school, plugging stuff in and seeing what happens, which I really like. All right, now we make things a little simpler. All right, 2 times 1, 2. Now, that's a great spot to just call that 1. If you see that right away, cool. Call that 1. I'm just going to take my time just to make sure we see where it all comes from. I'm also going to take my time in here, just so you can see how the numbers work out. Because a negative squared goes back to being positive. You just want to be careful there. And then a negative times a positive times a negative, back to positive. 2 negatives make a positive. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 5 is 4. So if you wanted to show all those steps, you certainly could, right? Now, you could have just like plugged it in all in one shot and just get 24, cool. It is nice to see that step, kind of like we wrote the other one with the square root of 4, like simplify what's underneath, and then we'll play around with it and see if there's more that we can. All right, so square root of 24. No good. Okay, so option number 1, leave it just like that. That, for me, is great. Okay, because we simplified the fraction as much as we could. And then the square root itself, obviously, is not perfect. So that answer, like right there, is okay. But think about that square root. Obviously, it's not perfect, since 25 is perfect, so 24 is no good. But can we at least make it simpler? Like, is there a number that goes evenly into 24 that is a perfect square? Can you divide 24 by something where that something is perfect? Like what numbers go evenly into 24, and are any of them these kind of numbers? Obviously, I don't need to look for anything bigger, so I'm looking like 16 or smaller. 4. Yeah. 4 goes evenly in the 24. And I know that we didn't do this for very long, but there is a way to make things simpler. And you're going to see why this is going to be so nice here in a second. So what's left? You divide 24 by 4, 6. Nice. Okay. And if you remember how we did this, right, we broke up one square root into 2, where the first one is that perfect square factor. Because the square root of 4 is 2, obviously, right? We just did that one. And so if you wanted to, you could rewrite the square root of 24 as 2 root 6. Okay, like what's the point in doing that? Why simplify a square root if it's not going to actually do anything for us? Well, what do you think? Like, you got this 24 stuck under the square root, and this 2 is kind of floating outside. Can I divide these 2, do you think? If one's stuck underneath, the other one's not? No, and you're right. Like, I can't call this the square root of 12. This is not going to work out that way. But look at this. This 2's on the outside. This 2's on the outside. Divide them away. Just like 2x divided by 2, right? You cancel out the 2's. Same thing here. And so we get a much nicer, smaller version. Either one's fine. I don't care which one you choose, but the one that I boxed and didn't circle, the one plus or minus the square root of 6, numbers are smaller. There's no fraction. Hey, I'm all for that. Any way to avoid fractions, I'm all about. You just have to get to the point where you have numbers on the outside. And then you can divide them and multiply them together. Right? Numbers on the inside, numbers on the inside, numbers on the outside, numbers on the outside. But I'm good right here too. Okay, so you don't have to go through this process, but that's why we learned it. We just want to be able to do that. Questions on either of those two? Do you remember this from a couple weeks ago? All right, good. Let's do one more. Here is my oyster. Let's see. We drag around here. It's never been washed. There it is. I have washed it, Griffin. Don't worry. I knew you were worried. I said, don't. But like, seriously, like once in like 3 years. This used to be white. No, I'm just kidding. It used to be just a lighter blue. I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. Last one, and then quiz 2.6. What did I call it? A? Yeah, we'll be done. And your job will be done for the day as well. All right, let's see if I can find it. Quiz 2.6. All right, let's get some bigger numbers in there. There it is. H of x. Let's get a 2 as our A value for the first time, just so we see what that does. But I picked a nice B value, so things should work out okay. Back to some positives. Positives across the board. 2x squared plus 12x plus 3. And you'll see when you get to quiz 2.5b, same kind of result. Like number 1 is going to be nice. Number 2 is going to be not quite as nice. Number 3, same thing. You just got an A value. And if you like to, A equals, B equals, and C equals, just for good measure. A is 2, B is 12. And just jump in, right? Work as quickly or as slowly as you want, but I love seeing that very first step where the numbers just go in. All right, negative B, so back to the negative, because we started with positive 12, so we flip that sign back to negative. And then 2 times whatever A is, well, that's also 2. We got to be careful. Again, I love the separate fractions, so I can simplify the first one. If the second one doesn't work out as nice, big, long square root on top. All right, B, well, squared. Right, B squared minus 4AC, so minus 4 times A, which is 2, times C, which is 3. Where bar goes far enough, fraction bar goes far enough, looks good. And then same denominator, same kind of thing, the 2 times A. So 2 times. Now, I keep writing x equals x equals x equals x equals. Since the left side is always just going to be x, you don't even need to write the x anymore. You just put equals. As long as, like, at the end you write x equals, I'm good. But even, like, way over here, right, we just circled the answers. That's fine, too. If you start x equals, we know what we're solving for. All right, let's make it simpler. So negative 12 on top, and then 2 times 2 is 4. Weird that that's off the side. Let's center that up a little bit. All right, now we've got some stuff up top here. I'm going to take my time just to make sure it works out nice. Now, I know the denominator is going to be the same. That's got to be 4. But let's kind of slow down. Let's make sure we do it right. What's 12 squared? 145. 144 here. 144. And then minus, and it's all positive, so the sign can't change. It's going to stay minus. And when you multiply 3 things together, or more than 2, you just do 2 at a time. So 4 times 2, so 8, and then 8 times 3, so 25. Okay, so that's negative 3. Nice. Again, trying to pick numbers that work out really nicely. I don't think there's going to be decimals anywhere in any of these problems, even the ones on the stuff for tomorrow. That you can start today if you want. I'll publish it if you guys want to do it. And then, okay, so 144 minus 24, so 120. Seriously, I'm good. I am good right there. Now, we probably can try to go a little further, and we will, just so you can see what it looks like, but don't feel like you have to, right? Once you get the first fraction to be as simple as you can, and even if it was like some decimal, like 2.5, okay, 2.5, right? Or the fraction version of that, just make sure it's as simple as it can be. But if that square root, coming over here just to do a little side work, if that square root could be simplified it is nice to just go that little step further. Just so your numbers are smaller, maybe the fraction, even if there's still a fraction when we're done, maybe at least simplify it. Let's think about it, 120. Now we want to do the biggest possible. I want the biggest perfect square that goes into it. So 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. I only really have to go halfway because I need at least times 2 left over. So 64 is more than halfway, so I can stop right there. Do any of those numbers? And I always like start with 49. Like I would do like 120 divided by 49. See what I get. 120 divided by 36. 120 divided by 20. 120 divided by 6. And hope that, I mean, who cares about the 1? That's not going to do me any good. So maybe 4, the worst. But if any of those go in, I'd love to make it 2. Any of that work? 4 and 30. There you go. Is there anything bigger though? Me is trying them out. 49 no good, 36 no good, 25 no good, 16 no good, 9 no good. So it's only 4. All right. So okay, 2 root 30. Okay, hey, that's a little bit better because now that number that's on the outside can go with the other number that's on the outside. And I can just try to simplify that fraction. Now, when it was 2 over 2, away they went. They just canceled out. I was good. But this is 2 over 4. So don't worry about the root 30. That's obviously going to still be part of the answer because I can't touch that. But simplify 2/4. 1/2. So watch this. 1 on top. The 2 goes on bottom. And then because the square root of 30 was still there, I just got to hold on. But look at that. Do I need a 1 in front of anything? Absolutely not. This is the best, simplest version of that. Again, I don't need it. But hey, if I was ever going to make a bonus opportunity on your upcoming test, it would probably be right there. Got it. Okay, good. There you go. Quiz 2.6a done. Take a picture, put it on Canvas right now. If you want, will publish 2.6b. If you want to start it, that means you just have less work to do later. That's fine by me. Folks at home, you guys can head out if you want. Again, I will publish 2.6b, and you guys can do it if you want. But you are good to go for the day. Just make sure you guys get that stuff uploaded. Like I'm staring at you, but you guys are over here. I'm like looking at my laptop. So you guys are good to go. I will catch you in class tomorrow. I'll publish 2.6b, but make sure you get this uploaded to Canvas. Super easy points today. So I'm all about helping you out.
Hey, Mr. Rosenberg, I was a couple minutes late. I'm sorry. I'm here though.
Okay, great. I appreciate that. Thanks, Oak.
See you later.
Hey Rosie, what's the thing called on Canvas again? Is it 2.3 or
2.6?
2.6.
If you look at today's announcement, you will see. I think. Let's see if I did it. Upload your work from quiz 2.6a today. So there's a spot right there. You can click on that. That'll take you right to the assignment. And then I'm going to publish.
Thank you, Rosie.
That's perfect, Peyton. No worries. Just upload it to Canvas if you would, Peyton. Thanks.
Thank you, Rosie.
You're welcome, Dan. I can see you. Let's do it. Let's publish 2.6b for those of us that want to put in some work. But if not, that's cool. You guys here or you guys at home, you guys can breathe, relax, get caught up on anything else. If you like, I think now is a great time to check your Infinite Campus and make sure that what you think you've submitted, I actually have. Because I have grades that go across the board from very little to lots. So let's call up now here. If you want to do quiz 2.6b, just go to Canvas, and you'll see under assignments right at the top there, almost at the top, quiz 2.6a for your work from today, and then 2.6b. Let's make sure that it's set up. Correct this though for 2.6b. So do it now if you want, or enjoy some relaxation time, but know that it's due tomorrow. Know that it's due tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. And you didn't bring me anything? Unbelievable. Uh-oh. All right, I'll stop recording. But if you guys have questions, just give me a shout. And we'll obviously, we have time.